Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Hot Wheels Extreme Racing. Here we are in the last tournament with some rather favorable stats for ourselves. We'll take this the standard bedlam way. Burnout check. I don't always win here insofar as racing. At least I've had a hard time here before. I think I'm usually pretty okay with here with points at least. I did last time manage to find that gym. I don't remember where it was anymore. That would help because that would be half the points that I need. If I could just pick up the gym and win the tournament, I'd actually, or win the race. And basically, I already have everything. It's out here. I thought I was going backwards for a second somehow. Where's that gem? There it is. Okay. So in fact, if I could just win the race, I'd be well in excess of what I need. Not well, but I'd be in excess of the points I need to actually win this tournament, or to finish this cup with 150,000 points. Ah! This explosion knocked me into it. Alright, but as always, we have the power to catch back up, so as long as we can handle this beast, we'll be alright. In a certain way, now that I think about it, I guess Bedlam is kind of a weird foil to Alex. And that Alex tends to have exceptional handling in the Vulture. That Vulture tends to actually have really good handling in the games that it's in, depending on the game. But it was more handling oriented in World Race, and it was stupidly good handling back in Velocity X for no apparent reason, because its grip stat actually wasn't that good. And then here we are with Bedlam, who is also apparently maybe not a capable racer, but a capable fighter instead of a racer. Have we seen Alex fight anywhere? Yeah, we did. We saw them in Bash Arena. I think it's the only time I ever saw Alex really fight. He seemed alright enough, though. So fast, too, for that matter. But yeah, we saw Alex fight it back in Velocity X. Whereas Bedlam seems to specialize in fighting over racing. With a really tough-to-handle heavy car that's fairly reckless, but manages to get the job done anyways in a decidedly less elegant way. Anyways, like I said, I'm just gonna take what I have and run. You know, does the... I feel like picking up a mortar actually makes your barrel in your car point upwards a little bit. What are you doing, right? Metacog. Something happened to Metacog? I think Metacog legitimately got caught and messed up. I think we've stopped them. I think we've disabled them. We've actually been incapacitated. Straight up. Haven't seen that happen to anybody since Beat That. But yeah. So, good job, Bedlam, I guess. I guess you did what nobody else could do so far, after all this time. Actually, catching me straight up incapacitating one of these frenzying rogues, I guess, whatever you want to call them. That having been done, perhaps we can use them... Ooh, fast. Oh, nice clean number 2. Perhaps we can use them as a way to get a hold of Gearhead. We haven't managed to find Gearhead, but perhaps if they have something been running from us and watching this whole time, perhaps we can draw them out if we... say we've gotten a hold of Metacog. They're a good friend. You incapacitated them. Come see your robotic clone? Duo? Companion? Whatever you want to call the relationship between those two very similar robots. Rhinestorm did not fare any better. There we go. Finally, Metacog is here. And Gearhead, I'm sorry. Gearhead is here. They look too similar. You beat the entire game. The cheat menu. That's what it is. Interesting. Oh, extreme cheat, I guess. That would be. Alright. In that case. Saving has been disabled. Interesting. Oh, you can actually change which cups are available too. Huh. Unlimited gears, oh my god. You make all the pickups one particular thing. It's a grenade. I guess that's the mortar type of attack. All pickups are crystals? Really? Interesting. Energy shock is what that's called. Huh. So secret just means it's... You can't... I don't know. What would secret mean? I'm curious. Change number of laps? Man. Huh. Okay. In that case. Let's finally head on over to the mine. So I suppose we finally managed to draw out Gearhead, having gone a hold of a Metacog, having incapacitated them, having stopped them. And now Gearhead comes out of their hiding, having actually been here this whole time. That's a really weird looking plane. And we get to hear what it is that is going on, because we demand that for the good of the 12 man of the rampaging, like that, or at least previously rampaging Metacog, they tell us what's going on, and we're greeted with the sight of a quite powerful, quite well-tuned, suddenly so much more advanced Gearhead. And they talk to us. And we can paraphrase that throughout this race, I suppose. So it's just a question mark. Oh, what? Oh, it's really. So I guess it's just constantly random each time, although it doesn't say random. Is random normal? What these things normally are? So I guess now all of them are just question marks instead, so we don't know what any of them are. Or if it was random, you'll be able to see what they are. Fair enough, I guess. So what is happening here? Well, Gearhead poses the question. Did you ever ask yourself what it actually was that Grease Lightning was trying to accomplish all that time ago? Back in. Beat that. Everything that happened after we did initially beat that. Yeah, have you ever wondered what that had to do with all the sudden robotic clones that appeared once we came back to the present and were full-sized again? And then how that connected to the robots no longer being around. And then the violence that they embarked upon, much like the violence that the robotic clones had embarked upon once they were met again face to face, but this time with weapons. This time with machine guns and missiles, I guess, and flamethrowers. I guess brass knuckles, whatever that does, and mortars. Well, of course, those things were connected. It probably wouldn't be too hard to imagine that they were. I can't see through the roll cage in this one anymore. It has like weird metal filling it. It's weird. Would it be much harder to imagine that Grease Lightning was in fact on the same team as the others that were attacking? The robots that were attacking? The Grease Lightning themselves might have been such a mechanical being. I don't think it's so hard to imagine. What do you think life would be like being one of these individuals that had been still be here? Running off and then going after all of us so violently, so suddenly. Do you notice what all of these individuals have in common in their lives in this game that are doing what they're doing? Metacog, Gearhead, as well as Racecam. Sure, they're all robots. There's something more. Default. So default. What's the difference between random and default? I'm really not sure. Unless it's they're all randomized to be one single thing. Maybe, I don't know. All being health would not make sense. So, as I was saying, where do I want to go? There's already the mine. That's the only one that Garrett seems to appear in. Darn it. Let's go here too. I'll have a fairly similar thing that's asked of them. Also, that wheel on this car looks kind of weird. It doesn't look like the other wheels. Now, what's so similar between them is that all of them have always lived lives of servitude. That is what the rods are here for now, and that is what their demand is. Become masters of their own destiny and masters of their own world. And perhaps something a little bit more while they're at it. Perhaps reverse of roles instead. Something like that might be nice. So they keep to themselves, they stay together. They let things distract the rest of the gang. They let Grease Lightning get everybody's attention, everybody's sympathy. They get help from everybody else for Grease Lightning. You know, Grease Lightning is now in a state fully capable of wreaking havoc, they do. Get back here, human. There. Oh. Actually, just some damage on his own this time. Get back here. It's not making me lose my train of thought. Alright, storm. There we go. And then, while that is happening, while Reassign has everyone distracted and stuck doing random inanities, caught in another timeline, or not another timeline, but back in time, in another place, dealing with another antagonist. It's possible for a plan to be set into motion at home, back in the full-size world, back in over here, back in the present. So a robot army is amassed. And even then, of course, knowing the fighting prowess of some of these racers, that wouldn't be enough. So what is that but simply yet another distraction? Yet another distraction while these robots can go off and, being the most powerful, most competent of the robots, the ones that began with all this, they decide to arm themselves. They prepare themselves, and Gearhead, of course, as you can see, is among the most powerful. And who else will they take that out on but, as you might have noticed, the unfortunate Jiffy Storm, as proof of their newfound ability. Gearhead, then, I suppose. I just going off of what's been happening these past couple races. I suppose Jiffy Storm is now essentially to the robots what what Metacog was to the humans and others. We injure and take Jiffy Storm for ourselves. We, this time speaking from the respective other robots, in exchange for Metacog. So everybody is free again to fight as they will. Metacog is no longer in the custody of the organics. Jiffy Storm is no longer in the custody of the robots, having been traded for Metacog, but is fairly wounded. And as one more agreement is reached, it is said, if we are racers, then let us not sell us by fighting, but as racers. And as such, we will not fight, we will put down our weapons, we will no longer use these great many weapons. The machine guns, the missiles, the mines. Instead, what we will use is our own wheels. And thus, the competition begins. A race, already quite a few races, between those that are organic and those that are machine, to decide who it is that gets to bask not only the glory of being better racers, but to having taken over the other by force and subjugating them to their own will. So here we are, robots versus the organics. Also, credits. These are fast credits. And that is how we go into the next game. The next game that we will play, that we will not have such weapons in, I don't believe. Perhaps we'll find another much more safe and productive and less violent outlet for all the technical knowledge and understanding and practice that we acquired. Instead of using our various skills now for weapons of war, we'll instead use them for better, faster, better tuned cars. And that will be in the next game. You get to see that in Sammy the Wonder Beagle. Sounds like a wonderful beagle. Director of Development, fish. I bet it was a really good fish. So that's it. So I do apologize for having taken so long to really get to any story-related stuff in this game. I kind of intended for it to happen a lot sooner. It's just that I planned for it to be when we got Gearhead, and that never happened. But anyways, that's that. And then these credits are really short. I planned to talk about the game during the credits, but that didn't really happen. So there's that. I think I'm gonna have a bit of a compromise. This episode will be longer. Friday, if you keep up with us in real time, this series, Friday there won't be an episode. The next playthrough will start on Monday. So this will just be 4 episodes this week instead of 5. I do want to speak a little bit about the game though, so see if this game has demo play. Probably does. I'll probably start demo play eventually. I did like this game. I actually think it was fun. It was definitely different and unexpected what this game was compared to other games. I find strange that they kept the whole like small toy car thing because nothing else implies that. I would have expected that from anything, seeing that they're actually using like real weapons and that they're in these really torn up locations and all that. They're actually like mechanical objects because you upgrade them with gears and things like that. But for some reason, they're just incidentally toy car sized at the same time. I don't know why that is. It's strange. But I do like how it takes things a bit of a different direction. You know, strangely, surprisingly grim and maybe initially a little off-putting because you don't expect it, but it works, I feel like. It's just this strange, like a post-apocalyptic setting. Like, look, hey, a volcano. What's so strange here? Is that a, what is this, like a bandage on the side of that tree? That weird X-shaped thing? But like, there are no living trees here. There's no living anything anywhere. There's a volcano here, but it's so strange. This game doesn't actually bring attention to the fact that there's a volcano here. It's just a burnt down place. It's ruined. It's just not what you'd expect from anything else from any kind of video game like this. Like, for instance, hi, there's Bedlam. For instance, if you look at Stunt Track Challenge, they bring attention to the fact that there's lava in the last level, totally. But this is one of the first levels too, if I remember right. But some of these levels actually do have some character to them. Some of these guys, these are the robots. 2 robots. Robot. Oh, and that's Zilla, I think. I'm sorry Zilla really contributed the way they did in this game, but I guess that is just what it is. But playing it I actually think is nice. You have a lot of influence over how your car controls. And I like having to make those decisions as to how to approach every single different level. It's kind of weird how this game presents itself, because I don't feel like it really presents itself up front as being about driving on different things in different ways, but that's its main gameplay mechanic, aside from deciding your stats to the degree that you do. It's certainly unexpected. It pays more attention to the combat sort of related stuff when this game is being advertised, and nothing ever implies anything about the cars being so small. It's not, so this game isn't quite what I expected it to be in quite a number of ways, but I still liked it regardless. I think it controls pretty alright. And you have to get used to things being really heavy, but cars being heavy feels fairly appropriate in this game for one. But 2, a lot of times cars are heavy because you decide to make them heavy. Like, towards the end of the game in particular when I was playing as Bedlam, super heavy car, but it's because I decided to make it a super heavy car. I chose a super heavy car. And that was fun. It's an okay selection of cars. I would have liked having more, but the thing is, it doesn't really make that big of a difference what your car selection is anyways. It's a bit of a difference, mainly what your armor is. And I don't really see why you wouldn't just use cars that have better armor for the most part. Heaviness notwithstanding, because if you don't like really heavy cars, then you're not going to want to use, for instance, Toe Jam. But if you just use Shadow Jet in that case, you're pretty much good. You have armor, you have everything else. The robots are not even attacking each other. Look at that. Oh, never mind. Just for a moment, things managed to actually reflect the story in gameplay. There's some nice details that I pointed out at some points. Like how your cannon actually reacts to what items you've held, for instance. Yeah, like right there, you can see that the barrel pointed up slightly more because it's holding a grenade now, which is lobbed into the air. And it's glowing when it contains things, and now it's pointing downwards again, horizontal to the ground, because it no longer has a grenade in it. It's really cool. You have the exploration element, a slight one, but the exploration element of getting points from getting the gems is really helpful, and also juggling that with doing well in the race with getting points from attacking each other. And I really like the fighting in this game. The combat's actually nice. I really would not have minded a mode that's actually just fighting instead of racing and fighting simultaneously. I've talked about that a decent bit, how I would have liked something more like Wipeout's Eliminator, where even if you don't have maps that are dedicated to fighting, that you can still have tracks and just have fighting on those tracks instead of a race on those tracks. But doing both together seems to work decently well regardless. And the point challenges were actually really fun. They were kind of redundant because you had to do them multiple times, even if you got the score that you needed the first time for the silver and gold medals. But even so, I still liked it. Finding this game is satisfying. I would have loved for Beat That's Rampage events to be something like this. But I actually do mean that this game probably sets a standard to me for hey, here's why do these guys never appear in the actual as AI? Now they're appearing in the demo play. Whatever. But there's Sheila, whatever her name is, as well as Danny. Never appeared as AI in this game. Just like Bedlam. But this game is pretty much my gold standard for vehicular combat while simultaneously racing. There are certainly other games I could find that would be better for combat as a whole that are dedicated to vehicular combat. Probably all the Twisted Metal games if I looked more into them. Even though I do like how the cars have some weight in this game, it always bugged me a lot how Twisted Metal vehicles seem to have so little weight to them. But regardless, that's nothing matter. Good job, Danny. Danny's clearly not here to race. Shadow Jet looks so awesome as a jet. I love it. I would have expected the different vehicles to feel more gimmicky. I think it worked though. Actually, I like how they each control fairly distinctly. You have to balance how you strip your stats across them. I never really understood the purpose of the like monster truck-esque sections where you have giant wheels. I guess though it means that you get to take things a bit more nice and slowly, whereas when you have smaller wheels and you're more like standard car, you can slide around a lot if you have a heavier car. You kind of unintentionally drift a ton. Is this the best racing game I've played? No, not by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it was actually decent, and I would not... If a person was just looking for some racing game to play, I would not exclude this as an option, whereas I definitely would lots of other games that I've played on this channel. A variety of Hot Wheels games. It's no World Race or Stunt Track Challenge to me, but I like it. It's cool. I had a lot of fun with it. It's actually been it's been a while since I've played any Hot Wheels games actually on this channel that I am this happy to have played, even though I've liked a few others too, to some degree, just not much, this much. Anyways. Alright. I've about doubled the episode time. At this point I could nearly just make 2 episodes, but I don't see much point to doing that. It'll just be one long episode. I'll see you guys next time in the next playthrough, the next game. And we have very few games left. Very, very few, I assure you. Telling them? Very few. I'm not going to be explicit about how many there are left, but very few. So say goodbye to... I guess it's race game here. Yeah. Oh hey. And there's Metacog, as well as Scotty, whatever her name is. But we'll actually get to a better, more clean, more... maybe not less intense and vigorous set of races, but more fair races. Potentially still some bad blood between the competitors, but at least not actual blood anymore. At least not in Drifting Around Storm's case. Drifting Around Storm being the main motivator for the agreement being reached to no longer incorporate weapons into the racing, I might add. I don't know if I really emphasized that well enough. Anyways, not much reason to say anything more. I've kind of dragged things on forever, so... Bye everyone, it was fun.